Hello, good morning. In today's video, we learn about the performance testing and the type of performance testings. So, why we need performance testings? So, different type of performance testing are there. So, we all this performance testing and all its types we learn in the today's videos. So, let's start with the performance testing. What is mean by performance testing? So performance testing is the nothing but the checking the stability and response time of application. So by applying a load is nothing but the performance testing. Stability means we design a application for particular number of users. So that is nothing but the stability. And response time means that time taken to send the request to the server and getting response from the server. So that is nothing but that response time, that all the time take required for sending request and getting response. That is nothing but the response time and the stability. So mostly the performance tester are used to tool for the performance testing. So like tools for performance testing. Two tools are used for performance testing. So one is for JMeter and another one is load runner. So the performance tester in organizations for the performance testing, the performance tester are separated. So they are using the JMeter and load runner tools for the performing performance testing. So we for general manual tester we know the basics of the performance testing. So we all learn about the basics of performance testing in this video. So for type of performance testing, first is a load testing. Load testing means nothing but that it's also check the time and response of application by applying load, which is less than the design number of design number of users or equal to the design number of users. It means, for example, we develop application for 100 users and we apply loads for 15, 17 and 19 and check the response of that applications. So that is nothing but the load testing. It means you develop application for 1000 users, so that time you apply load like 900 users, 999 users and check the response of that application. So how application response and response and speed of processing is also check. And then stress testing is there. So stress testing means it's check application performance by applying load which is greater than the design number of users. Like beyond the users we check, and load testing means within the limit we apply load and check the performance, and in stress testing we apply load beyond the limit and check that application performance. So here we also take that example of 100 users and apply load like 105, 101, 10, 115, and we check the application performance. That is nothing but the stress testing. Stress means we uh, apply more load for that applications and check the response. Then another one, third one is the scalability testing. The in this testing we also apply load for the beyond the limit, and we check exactly where our application is collapse or scratch. Means we apply load greater than the design number of users, and we check that on which point, on which load our application will collapse or scratches. Like here we take example of 100 users and apply load for 120, 140, 150. If you apply load of 105, so here our application is not like collapse for that 105. So then we apply 120. So sometimes it will lag for the particular times, but we apply 150, 100 200. So that time that capacity of the application is not too that not too much of the loads. So that's why our application on which point our application collapse we check in scalability testing. So that is nothing but the scalability testing. And the last one is the soak testing. Soak testing means we check application response time, stability. So whenever by applying load for the continuous long period of times, it means we apply load for continuous long period of time and check the response of applications, speed of processing of applications in the soak testing. So these are the four type of the load performance testing. So whenever the interviewer asks questions, so that time we have to explain with first with the definition, and after that we have to provide one example of that particular testing. So if you explaining an interviewer in front of interview like load testing, so first explain with the load testing. What is load testing? Load testing means checking stability and response time of applications by applying load which is less than the design number of users or equal to design number of users. And then you give example like we take an example of one, suppose we develop application for 50 users and we apply load 14 or 45 users and check that application response time. So that is nothing but the load testing, and you have to explain like that in front of user interviewers. So whenever you perform explaining performance testing, first explain performance testing, then the test type, load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, and soak testing. So that's all about the performance testing. And interviewer asks question like what is stress testing. Sometimes he asks non-functional testing. In the non-functional testing, the performance testing is the one of the types. So you have to explain like performance testing is also non-functional testing. It includes load testing, stress testing, scalability testing. So that's all about this video. So in the next video we learn about the usability testing and security testing also, then that UAT testing.